Hi guys. I know I haven't done a video in like 2 months, but I had family in town, and then I got really sick and was in the hospital. I was pretty much sick all summer, like with cold stuff, but then my blood pressure started acting a fool, and I was admitted into the hospital. I'll tell that story another day when I talk about diet and exercise and what I'm doing to maintain um, my blood pressure, because I am not old, I am not overweight, and so I baffle every doctor that I've seen because I have high blood pressure and an enlarged heart. But anyway, it's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today I want to talk about something that happened when I went to a kids ministry conference last month. So I am currently in the process of how do I say, given more responsibility when it comes to kid ministry at my church. So myself, Minister Pam, who was over kids ministry, and my girlfriend Tiffany and we all went to a phenomenal kids ministry conference called Kidmin. Oh my gosh. If you are in kids ministry, I implore you to go to Kidmin 2017. They're going to do it every other year now instead of every year. And like, for real, everyone in kids ministry needs to go to that. So I had a great time, and throughout the weekend we had various activities. It was for us to improve things within our kids ministry, but a lot of it was teacher oriented, so it helped us to become better teachers, and it helped us a lot throughout the weekend. So one activity we had to do has to do with this string, and I will keep this string forever and ever and ever, because so what they did was they spoke about the different seasons and what happens, like in the fall, what happens in the winter, like with fruit and with crops and things like that, what happens in the spring, what happens in the summer. So after the sermon in the morning, whenever they spoke about all the different seasons, they then had us break up into what season we were in our lives. So if you were in the fall, that means you were kind of in the pruning season where you were getting rid of things and and or was that winter? I don't remember. All I remember is that I was in spring. Spring was the waiting season, and spring was when you were waiting for like your things to bloom and things to happen, and for things in your life to come to fruition. And so what they did was they said if you were in the spring, they were like, you had to go stand in line, and they had two crosses, and throughout the cross there was just lots and lots and lots of white string, just like tangled up and just in like a nice bundle. It looked pretty, but it was like a nice big bundle. So you had to go over to the string, take a piece of string, cut it, and then go stand in line again once you got your piece of string. So I got my piece of string. I stood in line. I stood in line the first time. I waited, got my string. Went around to the other side. Sorry, the string's actually making me, pieces of it are getting in my nose. Sorry. And so then I went around to the other side, and then I waited in line again. So you had to go in line and put the string onto a cross. As you see, I still have my string. So I was in line to put my string on the cross, and I was all the way at the end of the line. And so as I'm in line, and Tiffany and I somehow, we got split up. We both were in spring. Miss Pam went to a different season. I think she went to fall. And so, or winter. So we got split up in the line. She ended up being in the line on the other side. And so as we're in line, Christine, the lady of the kids' church conference, is her name right? I hope so. She says, okay, if you're in the if you're in spring, I need you to go have a seat. And in my mind, I was like, but I haven't gotten to the cross yet. I wasn't able to put my string on the cross. Like, no, I can't go sit down. I can't, like, all this is, I'm not showing all this in line. I was just in line like, no, I'm going to make it up there and put my string on the cross. And then I was like, okay, well then maybe I'll do it after. Okay, yeah, I'll go sit down now, and then afterwards I'll go and throw my string on there. Like, I had all these different scenarios on how I was going to get my string to the cross on time during the thing, because that was the mission, and the goal was to get the string onto the cross. As I was thinking of all these ideas, I heard the Lord say, go have a seat. She didn't tell you to rush to the cross. She told you to go have a seat. Be obedient. So yeah, obedience has just been a running theme in my life for like the past few months, just with being probably the past year, just being obedient to the Lord and what He is telling me to do and what He is instructing me to do, and doing it even though it might not make sense in the moment or might not feel right in the moment, to actually do what He says to do. Because she didn't say, okay, when everyone's finished putting their string on the cross, go put it on, whatever, to get to the cross, then go sit down. She said, if you're in the waiting season, your time is up, go have a seat. That's what she said. And I was like, wow. So as I looked, there was a crowd of people, and they were all rushing to get their string onto the cross. And it was like, no, it's not what she said to do. You know what I mean? And that's what we look like in the spirit, though. Like, we look like that. Like, we're rushing and we're trying to get to it, and we're just, not listening to what God said. And the whole time He's just saying, sit down, have a seat. Yes, actively waiting means still doing something, but being obedient to what He says to do. So if He says to go have a seat, then you need to go have a seat, not try to rush to get the string on the cross before you have that seat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was a learning experience for me. And then I see Tiffany coming over, and she still had her string in her hand as well. And she was like, I was rushing to go get it up there, and God told me to come sit down. And I was like, me too. And then we looked, and we could see all the people. And there were some people who had stayed in the section where we were sitting, because that's where their section was to stay. And yeah, we were all, having a conversation and just saying how everyone's up there rushing to get to the cross. And that's not what she said to do. Those were not the instructions that she gave. Her instructions were to have a seat. So sometimes it may not feel right, and it may not be exactly what we think it should look like. But if God says to have a seat, be patient and just have that seat. Don't rush to the cross. I am speaking to myself right now. Jesus, don't rush to the cross. Don't try to do it any other way. Just do it as He says to do it. Be obedient to what He says to do, and just watch Him blow your mind. I swear, guys, I can't even talk right now, but you know what I'm trying to say. Just be obedient to what He says to do, and I swear, I promise you and me that He will be faithful to the promises and the things that He has for your life. So, I love you guys. Have a great day. I am going to try to get to the gym today because I haven't gone in 2 weeks, and that's not good because I need to go lift some weights, because for some reason every doctor says to do that when you have a health issue. So I'm going to pay attention, and I'm going to listen. I know I'm looking back and forth to the camera and myself, so I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll get better the more I do these things. But yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Have an amazing, 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 amazing day. Be safe tomorrow if you're going out for All Hallows Eve. That sounded real judgy. Sorry. But yeah, November 1st, All Saints Day. My Sunday school teacher used to tell us a story about that in All Hallows Eve. I miss her telling that story. Oh, Miss Carnegie. She was the best. Anyway, have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon.